Welcome everyone. This is the third episode of our philosopher series. This time I'd like to do I'd like to present to you my own made presentation about Towers of Infinity. This presentation will explore the topics of creating the worlds, or world creation. Let me read this little introduction to you. The desire to describe a world has accompanied intelligent beings since time immemorial. Fragments of reality were named using various signs, allegories, symbols, and definitions. In this way, our image of the environment was shaped. We noticed certain elementary general regularities that became the building blocks of complex structures perceptible to the senses. We looked for purpose in everything around us, even if there was no purpose or it seemed there was none. These two situations of absence of or illusion of absence are difficult, if not impossible, to distinguish without a thorough study of the phenomenon. And here we are mentioning, we'd like to mention two elementary rules. First rule is connecting infinity with zero with an equation, and the other introduces the concept of axis and the sign of a number, and of course the sign of infinity as well. And based on those concepts, we can create local worlds, and a collection of multiple local worlds is called a global world. And as we have written here, the local world has to contain a dimension. What does that mean? For instance, this thing, a point, is not a world because it doesn't give us the ability to move and crams all objects into the same spot. On the other hand, if we have world based on axes, we have the ability to move across the world and to be in a different position. And as we see, if we have a collection of local worlds, they can have different number of dimensions, as we see here, and these local worlds together create a global world. And to move across that world, we have to have the concept of incrementing and decrementing. No, it's essentially the same operation, the only difference is the sign of the constant, which decides if we move left or right. Here we have the axis shown with the operation of incrementing. Okay, next. We can also teleport to the end of our world, and that is done using a local teleport, which through the vector known as infinity path teleports to the infinity tower. Okay, next. So here we have the origin, and from the origin we can teleport to certain infinity towers. Of course, there are also infinity towers at the negative side, but we have drawn 3 to make the image more readable, because the other 3 are essentially a symmetrical copy of those 3. So and here we have the infinity paths. to the infinity towers. And the all infinity towers together create the interior of the local world. Of course, this interior is both connected with possibilities and dangers, like Doomsday Machine, and to protect the world from the danger, we create the Guardian. For each tower, exactly 2 guardians which control each other and control what happens in the towers. And here we have also described some more properties of the guardian, which let him do his duties. And if we mention of towers which guard the edge of the world, here we have to mention the concept of the Tower of Babel, which, as the Infinity Towers, allowed us, or at least in principle, was aiming to allow us to go beyond the edge of the world. So, if Tower of Babel was a Tower of Infinity, what could happen? Here we have a little depiction by Deep AI of the tower. So we have 2 options. The guy who punished people for building the Babel Tower was a guardian but was not a creator. And second option, he was a creator and wasn't a guardian, because the guardian cannot be a creator at the same time. It was defined in the earlier properties. Okay, so in the first case everything worked correctly and the guardian stopped unwanted people from possessing the secrets of the Tower of Infinity. And in the other case, the creator has overstepped his authority. Okay, what was I? Ah, yes. When we talk about the Tower of Babel, we also talk about the biblical concept of creation of the human. In the Bible, it was shown that the human was cursed in the moment when he has eaten the forbidden apple and casted away from heaven. However, in nihilistic existential philosophy, the curse appeared earlier, in the moment of shaping intelligent minds. Of course, I'm not saying intelligent mind has to be a curse, but it is connected with the difficulty of the awareness of the absurdity of life. Okay. Okay. Also, we have main infinity towers, and those towers show us the border of the global world. So how do we view the border of local world? First of all, we take the last world and positive infinity towers in the last world. Then in higher dimensions, we take infinity tower from the world with largest amount of dimensions. Okay, and we also have to determine the negative infinity tower. And how is that done? First, we take the infinity towers negative ones from the local world with the lowest number, and then we take lower infinity towers from the world with largest amount of dimensions, as depicted in the pictures. Okay, here is mentioned a topic of a weapon that influences the psyche of the owner. We have seen many literature or game examples where the weapon influenced the psyche of its wielder and had a high cost. Next, I'd like to mention about theory of dimensional expansion. So the idea is that when the number of dimensions gets larger, it's harder to determine which option or direction is better and which one is worse, because worse and better sort of feel like they are mixing with each other because of the large amount of dimensions. For example, we have a vector like in R3, worse, better, worse, somewhere over here, or over here, or over here. As we see, it's not that clear to say which direction is better because we have multiple options. Okay, and when the world gets complex, there comes a question how to understand all infinities, and the theoretical term for a guy that understands all infinity is general warlock or sorcerer, and this is the guy that allegedly understands the whole world. And can a creator be that kind of warlock? Possible, but we don't know for sure. Okay, so these were the main topics for today. We see each other in the next episode when we will discuss the concept of nihilistic absurdism. See you there.